quick garden update. It is July 23rd, and the sweet corn is sort of growing very strangely where the sprinkler's right there and it goes this way, but for some reason the corn is growing better on this side than on that side. So that's a little bit strange. Okay, it's sweet corn. We are picking cabbages. You can see the cabbages are disappearing out of the rows. There's places that should be 2.5 rows of cabbage there, and there's pretty much a row missing and a couple of holes in the back there. Cabbages are turning out great. They're tasting good, and most of them actually look really good. Very, very nice looking. They're the red ones. We haven't picked any yet. These are bush tomatoes that I've just mismanaged this year. Didn't work out, but they're still making tomatoes. They're just, it's just a mess. There's actually a half row right here. Oh well, sunflowers, they're okay, waist high, except for the 3. Ouch, I'm sorry. I got bit by a fly. Except for the 3 from last year, the volunteers from last year. I got one black fly here. It's not a house fly, it's a black fly that bites me out in the garden. It's not my friend. There's some Brussels sprouts. They look a lot better than last year's, and they're apparently, according to my wife, starting to form some stalks. So that's good. Down here at the base of the tomatoes, my sister and I actually added some chicken fence 6 feet tall for these cucumbers to grow up. And they're not with the program. They're all over the ground, and we're having to train them like this. They're pretty stupid vegetables, these cucumbers. So don't get any cucumbers and expect them to be real smart. So they're not with the program. We are starting to take some of these tomatoes off. That's the Genoveses. They're not ready, but these are generally slightly bigger ones down here in the back. So they're not ready, but like these ones here, we started taking these off a couple of days ago. These are the Napa Rose Blush, and they are very tasty. Very tasty. And you can see here, hopefully the video is decent. You can see that we are loaded up pretty good with unripe tomatoes. Hey, look, a bumblebee is working tonight. Saturday, bud. All right, there's a lot of tomatoes out here. Over here, I just took the beets off. They were in this general area, as well as a failed row of peas that was here. That just didn't work. Some came up, but not really. They didn't get enough water. So that's done, and you can see off in the distance a couple of rows of turnips, and then this is a row, I believe that is a row of rutabagas that are coming up, albeit less enthusiastically. All right, so this is where we start getting into the cherry tomato varieties, and they are really loaded up. You can see all the way down. There's some blues back there. Really, they're dark purple that are really really looking good. There's just tons of tomatoes right now, row after row. These are the Brad's Atomic Grape. They're pretty neat. That's what they look like. They've got like a green bottom to them, and they're still pretty firm, so I'm not picking them yet. I picked a few of those as our blue cream and berries or something. I don't know. The names are weird. There's a whole bunch of more ones. I only grew one variety of green tomato because it was driving me nuts last year having like 4 kinds. I think there was like 4 kinds of green ones. Like, are these ready? So anyway, they're doing well. The plants are, I don't know, I'm holding the phone about 5 feet up, and the plants, they're getting relatively close. They're over 4 feet, I'd say, in height in quite a few areas. These are the cosmic. They are purple carrots. They're actually doing pretty well. I pulled one up and just to see what they're looking, and they're doing all right. They're not done yet. But the pepper patch is starting to produce quite a bit, as well as the eggplant patch in the back there. They're doing well. And over there, honorable mention, we are getting quite a few sun sugars out of that tomato briar patch that I have mismanaged as well. Sorry to bring you way over here, but there's a couple rows of carrots. These are half-length orange carrots, and then maybe a better look at the turnips, I'm pretty sure. And then over here are 2 rows, I believe, of rutabagas. So right here, there. Since we were last here, I've finished chicken coop. The run is not done, but the chicken coop is done, and it's generally working fine. There are 19 in there. Something tried to get in, like a little coyote or a fox or something, and it failed. So I'm pretty happy with that. It got bored and left. These are a Filipino pepper right here. This is a Filipino chili pepper. And I was worried they weren't going to go this year, but they're on their own time schedule. And here they are. They look good. They're going to stay that color. The zucchinis, they're doing well, I'd say. Extremely well, perhaps. Perhaps too well. We've had the zucchini every day forever. Seems like it'll never end. Over here, the okra is still growing. We'll see how that goes. And then the San Marzanos. Oh my gosh, you guys. They're the worst. I feed those to my chickens. I have a little hand vac I bought, and I feed those little evil things to my chickens. They just seem to enjoy them. All right, back to this. The San Marzanos over here, these are the paste tomatoes. They're being very productive. You can see they're all over inside of there. However, I did nothing to keep them supported. So there's just there was too much going on in my garden this year, and I just had to kind of throw caution to the wind and hope these magically did what they were never going to do. So I ended up wrapping some twine around them, trying, and then I posted them up to a post. Could I keep them off the ground? And I mean, is that working? I don't know. I just got a low battery alarm, so I don't know if that screwed up the camera. But anyway, they're off the ground, I guess. These are some serranos. They're hanging out in there. Those always do all right up here. But this is what they look like. This is what they look like before, I clean them up like that. They're just kind of hanging out like this, and there's tomatoes all over inside of there. You just can't see them. So, garden fail is these zucchini should have been up against the wall, let's say. They should have formed the wall. And all this small stuff should have been in the middle to make the sprinkler work better. So all the I think maybe the smaller stuff, shorter stuff should be in the center, and then the progressively taller stuff works its way to the boundary so that the sprinkler works the best. So that's a note for next year if I remember. The popcorn. Popcorn is a bad man or whatever. This tasseled out a while ago. Went bananas. Boy, I'm in the domain of the bugs. And I mean, here you go. We got an ear forming. And the beetles are out here, and fine. Come on out here. Don't destroy my eggplants, you jerks. Right there is a light spot. Now that's kind of a funny thing, that little light green spot. That is like a whole bag of 3-year-old squash seeds that I had. I'm like, you know what? They're winter squash. I'm just gonna throw those in and see what happens, and it'll be a bonus if anything ever happens with them. So, I've never grown okra. I don't know if this looks good. They got a little rust on them, like damage here. But they're spaced according to the bag. And I guess they're gonna do their thing. We're hoping to use them for like a crab boil. But back to the winter squashes. So summer squashes pretty much do this, and they go insane. And you find 10-inch, summer squashes because you forgot them one night. Like, here you go. Ah, come on, they're so pokey. Ugh. We don't like them this big. But here we are. I can see 3 more in there like this summer squash. So anyway, so the summer squash does this, and then it molds, and then it dies. No matter pretty much how much I manage them, ultimately they all die from mildew. But I'm like, I don't want winter squash in October and November. I don't want to be eating like the last of it. I don't want them to start coming up in August, September. So I planted this row really late, like mid-July, only a few weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago. And there's a whole bunch of varieties, and these are really just a bunch of old seeds I had. So see, like here, I guarantee you, I put 5 or 6 seeds in that area. And same here, these are newer seeds apparently, because these came up. And that guy there, and that guy there. And as I get closer to the front, these are progressively newer seeds that are less old. Okay? So you can see that in general, the newer the seeds, the better. Somebody needs to weed this doggone garden, to tell you what. Anyway, so I'm estimating I got 150 tomato plants, and each one of them has, I don't know, 30 tomatoes on it. Maybe I'll get 20 off of each for now. Cherries will get a lot more than 20. But if I got 150 plants with 20 each, that's 3,000 tomatoes. So I've got my work cut out for me. And my sister came over and grabbed the weed whacker for me, the weed whip, and hit this whole thing to protect these okra. So I appreciate that. Looks like I had to go out there and get a little closer to them too. But this is a July 23rd update on the garden. Lots of squash. Peppers are rolling in, eggplants rolling in, tomatoes just starting. Just took the beets off today again. That's another redundant update. Here we go. We've walked back here now. See, there's a lot of them. They're doing their thing. There's green ones. I gotta take these ones in. It's gonna rain pretty hard tonight. So I'm gonna cut this. It looks like everybody's going inside over there. So, right, we'll catch you guys later.